It was a night unlike any other. I found myself wandering through a thick, impenetrable fog, its cold tendrils wrapping around me like chains. The air was heavy, and the sky above was an endless void, void of stars, void of hope. Every step I took felt like sinking deeper into the earth, as if the ground itself wanted to swallow me whole. I was lost, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, in a world of perpetual night. I could barely remember how I got there, but I knew I had been running for what seemed like years, pursued by shadows that whispered lies and doubts into my mind. Their voices were deafening, echoing every fear and failure I had ever experienced. The weight of their accusations grew unbearable, and with every breath I could feel myself losing the will to fight, to hope, to believe. As I trudged forward, I came to the edge of a vast, dark sea. The waves crashed violently against the shore, and the water seemed to glow with an eerie, unnatural light. In that moment, the darkness around me thickened, as if it was alive, trying to pull me into the depths. I fell to my knees, tears streaming down my face. I cried out, though I barely had the strength to speak. God, where are you? My voice cracked under the weight of my despair. Why have you left me here in this place of darkness? There was no answer. Silence hung in the air, a silence that felt like defeat. I bowed my head, consumed by the shadows. But then, in the stillness, something began to stir. It started as a faint glow. Small, distant, yet unmistakable. A light. It pierced through the fog, growing brighter with every passing second. I lifted my head, drawn to it. The light seemed to cut through the darkness like a sword, pushing back the shadows that had tormented me for so long. Suddenly, I heard a voice, not in my ears, but in the depths of my soul. It was powerful, yet gentle, like a whisper carried on the wind. I am here. I have never left you. Tears flooded my eyes again, but this time they were not tears of sorrow. They were tears of relief, of joy, of hope. The light moved closer, and I could see it now. A figure bathed in radiant glory. His presence was overwhelming, and yet I felt a peace I had never known before. I knew it was him. God had come. His hand reached out toward me, and though I felt unworthy, I stretched my hand toward him. The moment our hands touched, a surge of warmth and light coursed through me. The chains of darkness that had bound me for so long shattered. The weight of guilt, shame, and fear lifted, replaced by a freedom so profound it took my breath away. The shadows recoiled, fleeing into the night, unable to withstand his glory. The fog dissipated, and the sky above me began to clear. Stars appeared, twinkling like diamonds, and a soft golden light filled the horizon, as if the dawn was breaking after an eternity of night. "Walk with me," God said, his voice filled with love and compassion. "I have called you out of darkness into my marvelous light." I stood, no longer afraid, no longer bound. I walked with him, my heart light and free. The path before me, once dark and treacherous, was now illuminated with his presence. I knew, without a doubt, that I had been delivered. I woke up from the dream with a sense of awe, my heart full of peace. I realized that the darkness I had faced in the dream was symbolic of the struggles I had endured in life, the fears, the doubts, the trials. But in the midst of it all, God had been with me, guiding me, waiting for me to call out to him. And when I did, he delivered me from the darkness, just as he promises in his word. From that day on, I knew I was no longer walking alone.